Hello, everybody. You are with BookMark Presents and our favorite format, which is Ask Us Anything About LinkedIn. This is the place where you can ask anything about the professional network, and you will get the answers from our expert team, the first LinkedIn marketing agency in Bulgaria, BookMark. Don't hesitate to ask your questions either in the comments on Facebook or LinkedIn. You can watch us on YouTube, or you can listen to us in our podcast, BookMark Presents, on your favorite audio platform. Together with me today are Alex, Emo, and Dari. We are going to answer your questions and also discuss some news about LinkedIn, the recent highlights from the platform, and we're going to answer the questions. So yeah, please ask them. Before you think of your first question, I'm going to mention one of the new things on the platform, which we actually recently announced on our channels. This is the fact that LinkedIn is going to introduce puzzle games on the platform and the TikTok-like short videos. This is something quite new, together with the new season, with more sun, more time for fun, and for new, fresh mood. We see that the platform is introducing some new features that are going probably to change the whole way that LinkedIn is looking at the professionals, and it gives the opportunity to show the professionals in a new way. So what this means, actually we see that there is a survey made by Real Research, which found some interesting things about the future of gaming. They found among 5,000 participants that 67% of them believe that the gaming integration will alter LinkedIn professional image. Whether this is for good or not so positive side, we'll see. If you have your opinion and want to share it, please do so in the comments. In my opinion, this is an interesting new feature, and well, my prediction is that it's not going to last for long, because, as you know, LinkedIn is a platform where quality content is first, and people are expecting to receive quality content. So in that respect, I don't think that gaming is fitting much into the platform, and I don't think that people will use it much. However, if you think something else, please feel free to share it with us. As for the TikTok-like short videos, this is something more interesting for me, and something with greater potential. As you know, videos are one of the most engaging format in general on social media, and more and more we see shorter videos with subtitles on it, always, because you know that most users watch videos muted. So it's important to have the subtitles on the video you promote, but whether we'll see the short videos thriving on LinkedIn is something that is not sure yet. According to LinkedIn, this will give users the opportunity to create quality content, but in a more concise way, and it will give creators the opportunity to attract users' attention and provide tips and expert advice, but in a very, very concise and practical way. So I don't know. Are you excited about this new feature, Emo? For example, I'm curious
I felt it coming,
your opinion.
to be honest. Yeah,
Are you a
I
fan
felt
of sporties?
I felt the question coming towards me as I'm testing myself to upload the videos on LinkedIn as I'm trying to dive deeper into the intricates of the platform. Honestly, I've been testing the video format and to diversify with more documents lately, like in the last couple of weeks, and surprisingly, the results are not that bad. I'm getting up some nice reach, some nice engagements towards the videos, especially. I have yet uploaded only 2 videos, but can't really differentiate the results from the single image posts, for example, for the surveys and for the videos. There are some differences, but not that drastic, not that big. Honestly, I will be happy to welcome such feature on LinkedIn. But it's important to mention here that the videos I have uploaded are especially TikTok and Instagram formatted with subtitles, with the background music. Therefore, LinkedIn does support them currently, or people find them interesting. So probably LinkedIn is becoming TikTok, kind of, probably. Who knows?
Well, I hope that is not the case, and we won't see such transformation because for the moment, this is the place where longer formats, or not necessarily much longer, but those who really uh, have mm, something to tell you in more than 2 sentences, this is the place where you can consume such content. And I do hope that this will continue to be the case. And actually, I'm not a fan of this because our short span memories is becoming shorter and shorter, and our concentration is reducing. So I'm not a fan of that, actually. But we'll see.
Yeah, I would actually say I agree with you. I mean, all over the news, you have like, oh, LinkedIn is becoming the new TikTok, LinkedIn is becoming the new Instagram. And honestly, that coupled with news about integrating games, as you said, is sort of, I guess, really shifting the image that people have of the platform, because you really think of it as a more professionally oriented place, and integrating games, integrating videos, and having that said as like, oh, it's becoming the new TikTok. I feel like some people might actually turn away from the platform, consider it not as serious or not as having such a big authority as it did before.
Okay, Alex, do you have opinion on that, or we'll see your shorties soon?
Well, I guess, and I think you mentioned something about people being in their 40s. I'm not there yet, but maybe it's time to confess once again how scared I am of TikTok. But uh, how many 8 years ago, when Microsoft acquired LinkedIn, I was pretty much afraid that they would, I don't know, crash the platform, trying to introduce new stuff from other platforms. It didn't happen. LinkedIn is still here, stronger than ever, even though we had some sort of bad experience with LinkedIn stories, which were introduced a few years ago. Then they, in fact, were sunset uh, because they were basically not uh, good enough as a matter of their own experience, how they were set. So I hope this time this would be better. And I don't know, maybe we don't have any official confirmation yet, since this news is from, let's say, a few days ago. So we're looking forward. You know that usually some people reverse engineer those type of news when they see it in on their personal apps, or someone else notices something and sends them. But yeah, maybe I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Actually, that was one of the curious highlights from the recent days. But last night we saw some pretty interesting news about new ad formats, and these are the LinkedIn CTV and live event ads. What opportunities they are going to provide users, and what we'll see. Alex, do you want to share with us that?
Yes, of course. In fact, yesterday, LinkedIn launched their B2 Believe event in New York. And this was the right time to dive deeper into their, uh, let's say, efforts to bring B2B back to believing in brand, to believing in investing in brand awareness for companies rather than focusing on performance and activations, which is something that I don't know, maybe we've taken from more performance marketing oriented networks like Facebook, Instagram, even Google Ads. So, getting back where LinkedIn should be, now companies will have a couple of more formats and opportunities to invest in efficient LinkedIn ads. First, LinkedIn connected TV ads. This is what CTV means. And what is connected TV first? In fact, this is the kind of television which can be streamed on smart TVs. And connected TV advertising means that you can stream ads to people while they're watching their favorite TV shows. Of course, this is a new type of digital advertising, but there are currently some platforms that are offering this type of ads, CTV ads. So, what LinkedIn introduced yesterday was their partnership as part of the LinkedIn Audience Network, partnership with Paramount, Roku, and Samsung Ads, which means that now you can have CTV only campaigns on Campaign Manager for brand awareness. And I don't know, maybe try to persuade your buyers while they're watching their live or streaming, watching their favorite show. So let me just show you how this thing looks like on LinkedIn's Campaign Manager. Probably you're well aware of how this thing works. So we've started a campaign. We've put brand awareness as an objective, and it asks us, is this a connected TV only campaign? You can switch it off or on. So let's put the United States for now. In fact, I must admit, I'm not sure whether they will be launching this for all markets or just United States and Canada. Or in fact, for how long, since it's currently in the US and Canada. So you can make your targeting Of course, do not forget to exclude and disable audience expansion if you want to keep your targeting precise. There's only one format here, it's video. And then you put the budget, and then on the next step, you select the video you'd like to stream to your audience. In fact, it's, I don't know, maybe pretty basic, not too different from what we used to have before, or we currently have. So maybe we should test it, guys, even today. I don't know. Yes, and what else? The second advertising option LinkedIn introduced yesterday is the so-called LinkedIn Live Events ad, which comes as a video ad format while you're streaming, like we are currently doing, and you can promote this to your target audiences. And if you let me show you an example, since it's, I don't know, maybe I haven't seen it yet in my news feed. So if you want to have a look at this, just give me a second to change the tab I'm sharing. I'm doing it pretty much live, so it takes a few seconds. Okay, I think we have it now. This is it. I think you're seeing what I'm trying to show you. There is a live event ongoing. There is an ad format. Let me just zoom a little bit. And people are able to watch a preview, a 30-second preview, and then to register for the event and then watch it live. So I like this more than the connected TV ads for now, of course. So this is what I'm, in fact, going to experiment with really soon. Maybe for our next Ask Us Anything in May.
Yeah, I admit that I haven't dived deep into the announcement of the new features. So, are the LinkedIn audio events are they included in these new promotion features, or we just see them for the LinkedIn lives? I doubt that they will be included, but I'm curious, actually.
I'm not sure, so I can't answer to that.
Yeah, we'll see.
I haven't seen such information, but it doesn't mean that they're not.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see whether our next LinkedIn Live will be promoted. I remind you that you can ask your questions, whether it's for your profile presence or for the company you manage. Please feel free to ask any question that comes to your mind, whether it's related to the topics we discuss or something that it's on your mind for the past month in which we haven't seen each other. And while you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to ask Dari about the thought leadership big topic. Why should we utilize it? What do you think? And in terms of the formats which we discussed already, the short videos, do you think that they will be beneficial for the thought leadership direction of LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think Emo very briefly mentioned it already, and I will call him for sure and Alex thought leaders. I definitely follow their content quite passionately. And, they're my colleagues, but it's definitely worth promoting them anyways. And I do know a lot of our viewers are here because they like to hear them talk. But yes, to put it briefly, yeah, thought leadership in terms of videos and in terms of other types of content, it's really, really key. So I think this has been a topic that we've discussed for a while now, but put very simply, thought leaders, whether it's an individual, whether it's an organization, it's simply someone that really is an expert in a specific field. So if you want to prove yourself as an expert, then you always have to really be on top of every news. You always have to put out new ideas. You always have to have an opinion, so to say, on anything new that's coming in. And thought leaders, they stand out because they have in-depth knowledge, because they offer a sort of a more controversial or a fresh take on topics, whether they're novel topics, whether they're topics somebody has already spoken about, and because of that they can influence others. So, thought leadership and what I'm going to be focusing on is that it's actually quite important when it comes to B2B marketing. And what I'm going to be talking about and citing a little bit is the new 2024 LinkedIn report that has to do with the way thought leadership impacts the B2B sector. It's fairly new, though not as new as the topics that Didi and Alex discussed. It came out in February, and very, very simply put, its key takeaway is the fact that thought leadership really has a lot of power when it comes to influencing your audience, and specifically the largest the largest segment of your audience, which is the 95% of people that are out of market. So, as a lot of you know, we talk quite frequently about the 95 to 5 rule, which very simply put says that 5% of people currently are in a stage where they're ready to purchase, while 95% are not. And to put it very simply, why is B2B thought leadership so decisive? I'm going to give an example, and hopefully it's not going to be, I'm not going to get reprimanded because we have automobile fans on our team, and I'm going to say, well, if right now you've tripled your income or something amazing like that, and you've been a fan of sports cars for a while, you're finally saying to yourself, well, I'm going to buy myself a sports car. So are you going to just research every type of luxury sports car that is out there, or are you going to enter that decision already having a brand in mind? It's usually the second choice. So let's say I'm in that position, I would say I would be mainly thinking about a Porsche, a Maserati, a Ferrari. I'm not quite sure whether Maserati is like sports luxury themed. I just know they're luxury, but for example. So that is very simply why thought leadership and why building up your brand and building up your expertise all the time really, really matters. Because when people do reach that stage of making a decision, then they already have your brand on their mind. And yeah, it's talking about stats. Alex was showing them off, but it is really highly sought after thought leadership. So over 50% of decision makers, of C-suite executives, they spend an hour or more each week reading through thought leadership content. Also, thought leadership really opens new doors. So over 75% of decision makers, when they are considering products, they say that really, if there is thought leadership content that has been put out, then it would make them consider new choices it would make them consider that brand and content that is connected with it, even if it wasn't on their radar before. And most of all, if you've already shown thought leadership content to your prospective buyers, then 9 out of 10 of them will be more likely to be receptive to a sales call, to a marketing outreach from a company that has consistently, so to say, bombarded them with such content. But it's not just about, putting out anything and calling it thought leadership. I would say if you want to utilize this type of content, then there are some key strategies that you should definitely be employing. To mention the free ones that really stood out from the report as well. First of all, when you are putting out new information, when you are putting out new data, then make sure that it's strongly referenced. And even if your organization, doesn't have the monetary means or the time means to do, your own research, then you can cite other people's research that is relevant. For example, something that I do for one of our clients, which is company that deals with IT security, is I score through reports that have to do with, security breaches within the information technology sector. I score general reports about how people feel about the safety of their company online, and I repurpose them. And it's actually quite a novel and a good way to put out content. Infographics, I mean, that's the one thing that really jumps to mind as well when it comes to presenting such data and content in an attractive way, and I would definitely recommend it. So talking beyond having good references for the content that you put out, then another thing that you should pay attention is your target audience and your customers. So you should help them understand their pain points, the problems that they're experiencing better, and then really pitch to them how you can help them solve these problems. Um, so when it comes to that, it really is all about honing in and focusing on who you're talking to, what are the challenges that they're facing, and where are the opportunities for you to sort of help them along with these challenges. So effective thought leadership should really focus on identifying problems and then bringing unique solutions into focus. And then last but not least, you should also offer concrete guidance to the people that you're talking to. And you should, more than anything else, really show them examples of how you've helped your other customers. So what people seek from thought leadership is really, very simply said, clear, compelling takeaways, how to solve what their issue is. And they really want not only clarity, they want, so to say, immediacy. They want these solutions now, and they want them to fix their issue as well as quickly as possible. So, according to research, most decision makers, most executives, when it comes to reading content, they usually stop reading after the first minute. And then around over 50% of them also really don't return to that content, so to say. So maybe they bookmark it, maybe they think like, oh, right now I'm about to enter a meeting, I should stop reading, I should focus on something else. And then they simply forget it, they never return to it. And I think it's quite relatable, really. It happens to all of us right now. If you look at my Instagram bookmarks, you are going to see like, I don't even know how many like recipes saved up, random things saved up, and then do I go back to them? Not really. So yeah, it really is crucial to deliver your solutions and your thoughts on how you can fix your customers' pain points very clearly and really start with that solution. Don't have this long intro. Yeah, just say it now, say it clearly. And very simply put, that was, some of the main points from that thought leadership report. But if you want to go more in depth, then for sure, you can find a link, and you can also find a short summary on our blog, the linked blog. So I invite you to check it out there.
Dari, you're amazing. That last thing you mentioned about the very short time you have to grab the attention actually refers very well to the short video format that we're going to see. So, one more thing that came to my mind while you were speaking, I think it's the place here to remind you that you have the option to promote thought leadership content. And this was introduced last summer, I think so, 9-10 months ago. The fact that employees' content could be promoted, but recently we introduced it in our link letter, our format for LinkedIn news. We mentioned that now not only employees of companies but all LinkedIn users' content can be promoted on the network. So we see that the power of thought leadership is embraced by LinkedIn, and you should not underestimate that. Last but not least, I'm going to ask Emo about his favorite topic, and also to remind you that you can ask questions. Just write them in the comments. And yeah, Emo, I think, at least in my opinion, your favorite topic is personal professional brand. Maybe I'm not right. Are you
I believe
working?
that I believe that there is still a room for improvement in case of any false conceptions that this is my favorite topic. But anyway, I have a question actually for the audience, as we have quite a lot of listeners today. What is your goal for LinkedIn for 2024? Please drop your answer into the comment section, and we'll be keen on reading the answers after I finish with my I would say brief intake after Darius' elaboration on thought leaders. Today I'm going to speak, as Didi already mentioned, about personal branding. In fact, probably not a lot of you know, but I'm doing my master thesis, and this is the topic I'm actually writing about there, how to properly create and develop personal branding on LinkedIn. And I found a very interesting article from a girl, I would say. She's still 24 years old, but yet she is a LinkedIn top voice in her personal branding field of study, and she is a silver winner of the London Chamber of Commerce Young Business Person for 2024. Quite a quite an astonishing person, I would say. Her name is once again Rachel Wells. Go and check her out, as she is amazing. She mentioned in her article about the five most important things to think about when you develop your personal brand. And I pretty much cover everything she mentioned, and I would even add one more thing. But going directly to the points she has, the first and foremost, um, she was explicit on the point that you should define your purpose, define the purpose why you're creating your branding, whether you're going to position yourself as a professionalist, whether you're going to position yourself as a leader, whether you're going to position yourself as a freelancer or as a part of a company. It's quite important, and in order to do that, you should always have your goals. Something directly from the marketing basics. Probably a lot of you are aware, but always define your goals as smart goals, or also known as specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bounded. Always make sure that your goals are specific. Don't just say I want to be great on LinkedIn, but for example, say I want um, to gather 10,000 followers this week or this year on LinkedIn. Measurable is directly connected to the example I gave. Make the goals you have um, able to be measured. Don't just say I want to be a top voice on LinkedIn, but put a metrified, put some numbers in it. For example, say I want to be top voice in the next 3 months on LinkedIn. I want to gather 20,000 of engagement on my posts for the next 5 years, for example. Achievable is once again connected directly to the reality and to the world we're living in. Always be realistic towards your goals. Not to mention, but I have seen quite a lot of friends of mine, and not only, who are having honestly unrealistic goals and unrealistic expectations towards their businesses, towards their personal values. Always make sure that your um, goals are realistic and achievable. Last but not least, make the goals you are setting relative to time. Always think about your time management. Think about the the situation you're currently living in, and try to mix it up and to stick it up to the reality once again. So yeah, as I said, define your purpose and make your goals smart. The second point we are currently having is to optimize your personal profile, or maybe even your corporate profile of your company. Um, it is the most important thing to do, as the one and only impression you can leave to your audiences, to your customers, is from your profile. I'm going to quote probably a lot of authors on the internet, and not only, but LinkedIn is the place LinkedIn is like a digital CV, digital autobiography to yourself and to your company. So make sure it's well optimized. Put on a nice cover photo, put on a nice profile picture, optimize your headline, your about section, optimize your skills, your experience, everything, just to make sure that when your customers, when your audiences visit your profile, they're going to be left with the impression you want them to be left. Third, and we're getting to the middle, are the right people. This is actually a topic I had a discussion probably 2 weeks ago. How to write the right people. How to add the right people. It's very important to use um, the LinkedIn search bar and to use it wisely. Use it wisely because either way you're going to spam. Mm, I believe that here we are all going to agree that people don't love spamming, and an advice for you: don't spam everyone on LinkedIn, but grow your network organically. Make it make it grow naturally, as this is the only way for you to become a thought leader, as Dari mentioned earlier, to develop your personal brand, and last but not least, to show the expert you really are. Fourth point is creating and sharing quality content. Recently, while I was speaking with Alex, something came up to my mind. Uh, you can call it as a sentence, as a quote, whatever. Write as an animal, but with finesse. It's important to always have your content ready. Always have a planning actually for the content you're writing, as it's really important to know what is going to be published on your personal profile, on your corporate one, for example, the next week, the week after the next week. So write wisely, write it as I said earlier, write as an animal, but always use affinities. Always have this this sparkle that is going to make your post unique, and that's going to gather and to make you shine into the endless sky. The last point is actually probably the most important one on LinkedIn. Engage with your network. It's probably not a secret for anyone, but engagement is the key on LinkedIn. Even some experts are mentioning and saying that if you engage with content, it's way better and it will drive you way more even sales than posting original content. As by engaging, you're once again able to comprehend others' feelings and emotions and to give some added value to the post, to the author of the post, and to your potential once again audiences and customers. And probably my intake here, like my added value to this list created by Rachel, would be point number 6. To stand out of the crowd and to really be someone who is recognizable. I'm always saying this advice to everyone who asks me. Try to be authentic and probably a little bit controversial from time to time, as this will really elevate your game, and this will basically make you unforgettable. So yeah, any questions you may have regarding the personal branding, you can leave them into the comment section or directly to our bookmark page or to any of us on our personal messages. But yeah, I'm curious if anyone from Alex, Didi, and Dari has something to add to this list I mentioned.
I think that maybe next month we can showcase these almost a dozen types of LinkedIn profiles that we, in fact, introduced last week to the participants in our Linked Academy. So this may serve as kind of a teaser. So tune in just in a month time. So Emma, maybe back to you. I think we should definitely leave the topic to continue with it next month, since we already have a couple of answers to your question. So maybe you can read them.
Yeah, actually, we have one answer to the question I asked, and we're having 30 listeners. So, congrats on everyone who is currently with us. Once again, a recommendation: leave your questions into the comment section. My question for you was, what are your goals for the current year, for LinkedIn especially, but probably for other social medias as well? I'm going to read the first question from Maria. She's asking, talking about network growing, would you suggest a regular cleansing of our connections on the platform by removing people we no longer have something in common or just have added in the past when we didn't have filters when deciding who to add and who not to add? Without commas, this sentence was a mess, but I'm going to paraphrase it. Whether we're suggesting to basically remove people we don't have anything in common now, or just leave them be in our network and grow further our network using those filters, using those special requirements. I would personally say I believe this was a question that Alex mentioned we discussed in our academy as well. For me personally, people that have added you and people you have added into your personal network, let them be there, but don't focus on them. Let your focus be on the ones that are active and on the people that you can attract using your posts, the people you can further gather through your content, through your comments, as I said, through the engagement. Make the people in like stay in the middle of the strategy of yours, like make it people oriented, but focus on the other things like content, like engagement, like yeah. Anyone wants to add something further to the comment of mine?
I think that I mentioned it, I
I believe
observed.
no. All right. So, do we have any more questions actually? Anyone who wants to ask something into the chat section? Don't forget that in case you eventually want to ask us something, you can always ask us after the meeting itself, and we will be
We have a question
able
from
to
Luna.
answer you. We have actually a question from Adelina. If I have random thoughts that I'm willing to share in my personal LinkedIn, how often should I share them? This is this is actually a topic I was discussing yesterday in under one of my posts. I mentioned that I'm constantly now starting and seeing people just posting some random content at probably 8 or 9 in the evening, which I find honestly quite bizarre, as they are basically killing themselves with the reach and with the engagement, as people are less active in the evenings, and it really depends on the audience you are having, but people tend to be less active in the evenings. So always make sure to share your content within a timely manner, within like you can share everything you want, but do it timely and do it wisely.
That says everything, I think.
I actually want to come in with something real quick. It has to do with what you spoke about, the fourth point, also a little bit with that question, and also with something that you've mentioned on our Linked Academy to our students, so to say. You were talking about writing like an animal, but writing with finesse, about really quality writing. But what I'm going to say for all those introverts out there, for all those people that aren't as confident as a lot of the thought leaders at least project that they are, I would say push yourself to write. Even if you don't think it's great, even if you don't think it's written with finesse, even if you think it's a random thought, just break that barrier. If you're the sort of person that doesn't think they have anything of quality to say, if you don't consider yourself an expert, if you don't consider yourself, someone that is worthy, so to say, of having a brand, then scratch those thoughts aside, leave aside Emma's suggestions for a little bit as well. Don't focus so much, on time, on quality or interactions you have. Focus on just putting out content and building up that confidence for yourself. And then I would say definitely do listen to Emma's advice about timing, about preparing your content in advance, about really putting the thought in. But yes, if you're the sort of person that after listening to all of Emma's advice, you feel overly intimidated, then just, yeah, put it aside for a little bit, push yourself to enter the field, and then start growing little by little. Return to this life, return to Emma's advice, and take them in little bit by little bit until you've really fulfilled it all.
Yeah, since it's a pretty huge topic, and we've talked a lot about this during our trainings for the last few years. Here's one advice I could give you. Something that you should remember each time when this self censorship kicks in. So you may have 50 connections, 60 connections, or 60 followers. You may have 600, you may have 6,000. Most of those people have come to your profile and they have clicked on the connect button, or at least they have clicked on the follow button. Those people voluntarily came to you and they showed their willingness to receive your content, which means they have expressed their willingness to know what you think professionally. Furthermore, all of your connections This is a two-way relationship. At least they have accepted your invitation. They have clicked accept. So this is once again a confirmation that they are willing to know what you think. So this is it. You have your audience. These are not people who you have randomly met on the street, on the sidewalk. Those people are here, willing to see your content. Maybe you can inspire them to engage. Maybe you can inspire them to publish more. So just go and do this. And while Dario was speaking, I was thinking that it's the same with reading. There are parts of our lives that we can't say that we're eager about reading books. So you just need to start to remember why we loved stories and fairy tales while we were kids. So you can start with something that literary critics would probably hate, like they did with Harry Potter in the beginning. So start with something lighter. Maybe somebody would say shallow. Remember why you loved books, or maybe you still love them, and then go deeper. It's the same with writing. Start small, and then when it becomes a habit, it goes on.
One last thing from me, not that I want to be last in this discussion, but I have to be. Um, okay, maybe there are people who you would never need in your network, but how much time would you spend on removing them, even if we think in that respect? Invest that time in growing your network and growing it wisely. So that, I think, answers your question. Whether it's worth investing your time, your most valuable resource you have. Think about it wisely and invest it wisely. We have an answer of Amos' question. My goal for 2024 is to have more presence and understanding in LinkedIn based on my writing capabilities. I'm working hard on that with little steps, but I'm sure that the results won't be late. I'm sure as well. That's the right direction. So well done. If we have another question, we can answer it. Otherwise, I think we're going to
I
leave
think
this conversation.
Didi, that we have a couple of more comments why people are on LinkedIn, which is another maybe a bit broader question that we put in the comments. So if you'd like to read them, or
Okay.
maybe, yeah.
One of them is my main reason to be here is to connect with colleagues and business partners. It allows me to gain industry insights and build and promote a professional brand. That's from Evelina. That's quite reasonable thing to say. That's the place to be and to find the quality contacts in that respect. So yeah, well done, Evelina. I'm sure that with the small steps you take with optimizing your profile, with finding the right people, using the numerous filters on LinkedIn, you're going to enrich your network. And we have one more comment from Denitsa. My goals for this year are to increase engagement by regularly sharing insightful content, aim 50 likes, okay, and to keep learning and developing my skills. That's yeah.
I have a question
That's
actually
a
for
good
Danny.
goal. Okay, you can
Yeah.
read it. I didn't see it.
No, I have a question for Danny. If she
Oh,
can leave the answer in the comments. the 50 likes thing is oddly specific. Do you have any explanation behind the 50 likes, or you just mention it as a reference for the 50 like engagement? Like, yeah, please answer in the comments. I will be curious to learn more. But apart from that, leaving the floor back to Didi.
Yeah, actually, I would also ask her. She doesn't need to answer now. But do you leave comments on others content, other users' content? That's something that would be of food for thought. How you behave on the network, whether you only produce content or you engage with others' content as well. Okay, thanks everybody for being with us today. It was a pleasure to answer your questions and to share with you what we had to share. And our next meeting will be on the 3rd of May, the first Friday of the month, as usual. Keep an eye on our LinkedIn page and share with us what you think and your next questions. Thanks and bye-bye.
See you.